In this presentation, we will create a new company file for the fourth practice problem related to a job cost system, this time using classes. We will create this within QuickBooks Pro, QuickBooks Desktop. Here we are in QuickBooks. If you have a current file open, then you could close the current file to get to this screen by going to the File dropdown and go into the Close Company, although you don't really need to do so if you just want to open it from the File tab, as we will be doing here. Within this screen, we can create a new company by going to the Create a New Company button down here, or we can go to the File dropdown and New Company, as I typically prefer to do. So I'm going to go File, New Company. We're going to set up the new company. We're going to do that with the standard setup as we've done in the past. We're going to skip this next screen that comes up. We're going to enter just the essentials, those with the red asterisks. So the first one is going to be a name. I'm going to be putting 4. You could just put, this is the fourth job costing problem. You might want to indicate that it's the classes. That's going to be the major difference we will have here. We're going to put then the industry. Like with the previous problems, we will be doing a job cost system, which will apply to industries such as general contractors or other kind of service type of providers, people that make, job cost, larger kind of project type of things, accounting, lawyers, possibly. Now, if you choose the item, though, note that you're going to get the chart of accounts and the item list. And a lot of times for a lot of these industries, because like a general contractor might, still be kind of specializing in different kind of things within that field, you may have a lot of accounts that don't apply. So if you want the chart of accounts, then you could choose the industry and then expect to go into the chart of accounts. And I'd really trim it down to the things that you will be using in your practice and then add to it as you need. Also, the item list using classes is going to be something that we're not going to need as much, or we might want to trim that down as well, because we're going to be utilizing classes, which is a little bit different than the item list that will be generated if you were to start this. So you may want to use the chart of accounts and then basically delete all the items and then add the items as you go, as we'll do here. We're just going to start with a fresh copy. We're going to start with no accounts, and that'll erase some of the clutter that will be there. And I really recommend trying to reduce some of the clutter, because when you're using a job cost system and you're using classes, there's a lot going on. So clutter gets cluttery. So I'm going to keep it down here and go with the other none, and we're going to say OK. And then we need the business type. I'm going to keep it with the sole proprietor just to keep the standard setup. Again, doesn't really matter with regards to what we're concentrating on here, which is the tracking of the job system through the job and through the cost of goods sold and so on. So we're going to create the company file then. So create company file. It's going to take a little bit to do that. Here we are back in QuickBooks. We're going to close out the open windows we don't need. So I'm going to close this window out. I'm going to close this window out. I'm going to maximize the home tab that we have here. Going to maximize that. I'm going to open the open windows just because that's what I always do here, which you're probably sick of at this point, but there are the open windows. And then we want to just make sure that and just check the lists that we have. So the lists drop down, chart of accounts. We have a very minimal chart of accounts. Again, if you chose some other industry or you want to, I would then recommend going into the chart of accounts and looking at those accounts that don't apply to you and basically deleting them, right? You can just right click on them and delete them if you don't want them. And then let's take a look at the lists and the item lists. We have nothing here. Again, if you choose another like a general contractor item list, you're going to have a whole lot of items, and you may want to just clean those out. You may want to, clean out at least the ones you're not going to use and have the fresh copy here. So that's what we have. Note that I'm going to close this out for now. I'm going to go to the File tab. I'm going to close the company. And then I like to locate where the company is at within this home page. You hover over this, you can find where QuickBooks put it. I would then close QuickBooks, go back over, copy the file, move it, or, cut it and move it, move it in whatever format you want to wherever you want it to be.